Hi, I'm Gina Tabrizy. I'm so glad I'm going to have a few minutes to talk to you today about Harmony Heals Counseling Center. My husband and I co-founded Harmony Heals over 25 years ago, and it's a labor of love. Honestly, we found each other in this field working in different capacities. We soon married, and the center grew out of this passion that my husband and I both have for holistic services. So many treatment centers, many counseling centers now express and state that they are holistic. What I want you to understand about that is wrapping the whole person around in their treatment services, meaning treating the body, the mind, and the spirit. And so having been a person myself who suffered from depression and from cancer and from thyroid conditions that gravely affected my ability to focus, to work, and to thrive, I had to pursue alternative medicines to be able to assist in healing and in growing. So I'm a strong advocate for adjunctive therapies such as Tai Chi, meditation, yoga, acupuncture, chiropractic, essential oils. I carry them in my purse every day and use them faithfully. They helped and were such a big part of my healing. It's important to know that the whole person, what happens to the whole person, and affects every aspect of the body, the mind, and the spirit. And at Harmony, we're founded in the belief that trauma is at the root of all dysregulation, of all mental illness. You can go to many treatment centers, you can go to many counseling centers and work on the surface. It's like staying on the outside of the onion and never peeling the layers till you get to the core. And when you get to that core, if you've ever chopped into an onion, you can see it is not quite nice in there. That is where the most potent smell and aroma comes out of the onion, right? Trauma is very much the same thing. And trauma can be defined and is defined here at Harmony a little bit differently than what most counseling centers and most therapists might call trauma. There's a term they use, big trauma, big T, and little t. Here, it's all T. So anytime that you felt less than cared for, less than regarded, less than nurtured, less than loved, less than validated, where you just felt less than, and that's your life story. That's your experience in your childhood. That's your experience in your adulthood. You feel like you're not seen. You feel like you're not heard. You feel like people don't love and cherish you and that you're absolutely precious. Well, that's trauma. And at the root of that feeling less than, that sense of worthlessness, that's where addiction breeds. That's a breeding ground for using substances to mend the heart and to mend the mind. There is no addiction without trauma. So at Harmony, as we explored and began to treat trauma, we also had to treat addiction. So we are very versed and very well educated in terms of treating and supporting those adjunctive services and treating trauma and addiction conjointly, or what we like to call dual diagnosis, if you're familiar. So the other piece of that is codependency. So our wheelhouse really is trauma, addiction, and codependency. Those are the three pinwheels on our little triangle. And all mental health services can really fall in some aspect of those three topics, disorders, behaviors, whatever you'd like to call them. Codependency is the person that has maladaptive behaviors because of feelings of lack of worth. And so they attach themselves to the addict or the alcoholic. They create very dependent relationships with people where they don't feel valued or have any kind of self-worth unless another person tells them they do. So it's like hanging your shingle on somebody else's roof and hoping that it covers you. So as we're looking through these, we marry these three issues together. We support you in becoming vulnerable and becoming able to see the truth of those dark places inside of you that maybe you haven't explored, because at the root of all mental health is that sense of worthlessness and a feeling and depth of hurt, of wounding, of grief, of trauma that you haven't really looked at and you haven't really healed. So if you're doing the kind of work and therapy that only touches that surface, that outer layer of the onion, you're never getting to the core. So you keep repeating those negative patterns and those maladaptive patterns of coping such as addiction, such as codependency, and also breeds into depression and anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder. So our journey here at Harmony is to wrap our arms around you. Our three guiding principles are love, compassion, and kindness in all things. We surround our clients with love. We invite them to feel as part of a family, hopefully a functional family that can teach them some new coping and boundaries and ways of relating in the world and ways of connecting with other people. It is very important to us that they not only start to think about that they're worth being loved and treated well, that they actually start to feel they are being loved and treated well here. We begin to mirror what's possible for them in the rest of the world, outside of the treatment. And our goal is to work ourselves out of a job. If we're doing this right, our clients should leave. They should grow. They should be functioning. They should be able to be productive people in society and in communities, and they should definitely be giving back. So a strong spirit that runs through Harmony is philanthropy. We love to give back. We love to be of service. We love to be connected to our communities. We work with and have many relationships in the communities and care partners where we support nonprofits, where we volunteer, where we invite our clients to come and volunteer. My husband and I too have another thing, like working out is our church. So where we get fit in our body and our mind first, and then we have more emotional stability. So in our workouts, we also invite our clients to work out. And we're leading by example. We're showing them that you've got to do the work. And if you do the work, you will truly feel better. You truly will heal. Recovery is possible for anyone who's willing and does surrender. So I thank you, and I hope that you'll come and tour and explore and seek out Harmony Heals Holistic Counseling Center for any of your services that you might need. Thank you.